All right, let's go back to Discord and hear from more people. You can find the David Pakman Show Discord at davidpakman.com/Discord. Let's go to Vinod from India. Vinod from India, welcome to the David Pakman Show.
Hello, David. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Okay, so I wanted to ask about the recent state visit by Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi to the U.S. Joe Biden invited him. The interesting thing that I noticed is some of the members of Congress boycotted his address to Congress, right?
Yes.
So one of them was Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, I guess. So my question is, she met with the thing is, she told that the Muslims are discriminated in India, and their rights are not respected and such reasons. So she boycotted it. But my question is, she went to Turkey and met with Erdogan, and she went to Pakistan and met with Imran Khan and other such people. I mean, those people are not exactly known for respecting human rights and religious freedom, right?
Yes.
So this is the hypocrisy that I'm seeing from some progressive members of Congress. Well, I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, so listen, I'm going to take your word for it on what Ilhan Omar said about anti-Muslim discrimination in India. Let's assume you're accurately representing it. I'm unaware of what she said. I think that it would not be unique to Ilhan Omar to play a little soft with some of the authoritarian-leaning folks that you're talking about, including Erdogan in Turkey, while levying criticisms in similar circumstances about other leaders. This wouldn't be unique to Ilhan Omar. There is a contingent of the left that does this sort of thing. Somehow they end up always going soft on, whether it's Erdogan or Putin or Maduro or Castro or whatever the case may be. It's not new. I don't have anything in particular to add about it. Often it's rooted in wanting to apply, not wanting to, it often applies a different standard to the United States and allies versus other countries. And I don't know that I have too much more to say about it. I know that there are people in my audience who every time I mention the name Ilhan Omar want me canceled. But to be totally fair, Vinod, I didn't hear her make the comments that you're talking about. But the double standard you're bringing up does not come as a shock to me.
Yeah, I mean, hearing from the discourse in the U.S., it seems like if someone is not knowledgeable of India and what's going on here, someone who hears the rhetoric that these people espouse, they think that some sort of genocide is going on, like some sort of Muslim genocide is going on here, which is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not pro BJP or pro Modi or anything. I mean, it's fine to criticize him. That's okay. But I see the parallel here, because Ilhan Omar, sometimes criticizes Israel also. So sometimes it is. I feel like it is anti-Semitic. So I think it is. I can see the parallel between here and there.
Well, listen, we should really take these all individually. I do think there is evidence of anti-Muslim discrimination in India. It would be wrong of me to characterize it exactly because it's something I've read about a little bit. And there are a number of different studies. There's a Reuters report. NBC News has written about it, about concerns about Muslim rights in India. I think it's perfectly fair and correct to have a concern about that. You seem to be going more to the hypocrisy or double standard, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thanks, David. Thanks for taking
Thank
my
you.
call.
There is Vinod from India. Great to hear from you. Why don't we go next to, how about Bobby from Southern California? Bobby from Southern California, welcome to the show.
Hey, David, how are you?
Doing well.
Good. So I have a question for you. How do we get back to talking about policies and things that matter to Americans, such as affordable health care, education, and housing, How do we shift focus towards these major issues instead of manufactured issues related to, caravans, CRT, LGBTQ plus, asylum seekers, indoctrination, etc. My take is that it just feels like moderates and right wingers are focusing on the wrong problems that don't actually impact them on a day-to-day basis or create better outcomes for their own livelihoods. My perception is that Americans are willing to fight the wrong battles, focus on the wrong priorities, and continue to vote for politicians who often vote against their best interests because they get grifted to fight ideological battles. And
So
they complain
two
about it.
possible answers. There's two paths, Bobby. And we've talked about this before. The question is, how can the left force policy back into the national discussion as the primary issue, despite the right's insistence on ignoring policy, doing culture war issues, and that sort of thing? Two answers, okay? One answer is the left needs to stop engaging on every single one of these cultural issues and just talk about policy only. And eventually, the people of the country will realize, wow, that's quite a contrast. They will stop paying attention to the culture war issues and they will pay attention to the policy discussions of the left. Sounds a little pie in the sky, okay? On the other side, there's the argument the left actually just needs to defeat the right on all of these culture issues. Instead of sort of playing a little coy with the culture issues and saying these are contrived and overblown, make the landscape one where you actually fight the right on those issues. And then once we beat the right on those issues, then we can go back to policy. I think the problem is the more engagement the right gets on these issues, the more they will push. And it's not actually going to be so simple to say, we've done away with the culture stuff. Now we can get back to policy. I actually think that our guest earlier this week, Joe Berkowitz, made maybe the best point on this. The way to do it is expose how stupid these culture issues are, and in the same breath, in the same conversations, get back to those important policy issues. I don't believe it's a perfect solution. I believe that to some degree, the right is going to, the culture issues, they get headlines, they sound interesting, they sound titillating in different ways. But I like that idea, which is to say, hey guys, listen, every time you want to talk about this school stuff, you just lie. These things aren't going on. It's a waste of time. There's no cat litter boxes for students who identify as cats. Librarians and teachers know what books kids should read. Okay, now let's get back to figuring out how to make food more affordable and healthcare more accessible. I think that some kind of in-between approach is probably the best.
And do you believe that since 2016, when Trump was elected, that Americans are more leaning towards listening to the other side of the aisle? Or do we still have a lot of work to get there?
A lot of work to get there. A lot of work to get there. Yeah.
I agree. Thank you.
Bobby from SoCal, thank you for the call.
Thank you.
All right. Kind of a sad reality, but it is what it is, you know.